Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're here for another video and we thought what would be better than how we met our love story. We're celebrating 7 months of marriage tomorrow. So we were like, this should be pretty good. We're excited to share this with you guys.
Yeah.
So Chet's gonna kick it off for us. He's gonna start all the way back to the beginning. Good old 2021.
Wow. Such a long time ago. Dude. Before there was was that when? 2021?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right. That's totally right.
That's totally right. Sorry. I just couldn't, it's like black and white back then.
Stop.
Yeah, how did we meet? Well, we grew up at the same church.
Yeah.
We had the same home church. We went to the same youth group. But we didn't really know each other that well. Kind of just passed each other in the church hub a couple hundred times. Exchanged judgmental glances.
Stop.
But we didn't really know each other, and it wasn't until just a little while after that that we kind of got to know each other a little bit better, but not super. But we just went on a double date together.
Yeah.
And we were both with other people, so that was really interesting.
I hope that caught you for a loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope it did too. Yeah, but that's kind of how we first got introduced.
Yeah.
And Eva and the dude was a good friend of mine. They didn't really ever date or anything.
Yeah.
I ended up dating the girl for a few more months after that, and then we cut things off. And Eva this is really weird, but she's a grade ahead of me in school, or was.
But he's older than
I'm
you.
older. So yeah, I'm practically a senior citizen compared to her. But so after that, I had to finish another year of high school, and she shipped off to college in Virginia, Liberty University grad, but not grad. Just another dropout. Low retention rates. But yeah, so we kind of we knew each other, but we didn't know each other. And then we kind of reconnected because we were at the same home church. Eva leads worship sometimes, so she was on that Sunday, and I saw her at the cafe. Mega church, you gotta have the cafe in there. She was probably getting a hot chocolate or something like that.
Probably.
So I went and just said hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, okay, I want to jump in here because it was really funny. Okay, so basically to give you guys some backstory, so I went to Liberty for 1 year and then I came home. Yes, it was the summer time frame, so that's when I was leading worship, but I also decided to stay home and do Liberty Online, which I'm no longer doing. Story for another time. But basically, I was in the coffee line and I see Chet coming up and I'm like, what the heck? Why is he coming to talk to me? And I was super nervous. And so then it was so awkward.
I have a way of doing that to people.
He came up and asked me about school, and then I was like, so what are you doing? And I think I said something like, are you going into accounting or just business? Because I was nervous and business is so generic. But then he was like, no, I'm actually staying home and doing school online, and I'm going to study to be a pastor. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was really awkward. But basically that was the conversation. And I was like, oh, that was sweet of him to come up to me. But I also was like, oh, it's so weird. So then after that, it was that summer, and we were now both young adults, so we could attend our young adult ministry. And so I had Snapchat for a little bit during this time period, which honestly was a God thing because that's how Chet reached out to me and I wouldn't have seen it, which is just funny. And I don't think he knew I didn't have Snapchat because I had deleted it for a really long time. And so then I got it back and I saw that he had messaged me, hey, you should come to our young adults group. And so yeah, you know how they do.
It was all downhill from there.
And so then he invited me and I started going, and we wouldn't necessarily talk every time, we wouldn't necessarily sit together, but Chet had actually started working at the church at that point, so he was a little bit what I felt like recruiting people to try to come to this young adult ministry, wanted people to come. And so he had texted me, and I was kind of part of the people. Like, it was nothing like he was like really interested in me, from what I know. But he was just inviting a lot of people to the young adult ministry. But as I continued going, I started to realize that I really liked Chet. And here's what's really funny. So when I came home from Liberty, I was like, I want to be single. Like, I had been in somewhat of a relationship that I was like, this needs to end. And so I did end that. And so then coming home, I was like, I just want to pursue the Lord. You guys know how it goes. For you Christian people out there, it's like, I just want to be single. I just want to pursue the Lord. And when your heart is really pure and right in that, I feel like sometimes God's just like, okay, here you go. Because literally, Chet was in the middle of kind of getting out of an unhealthy relationship. And so he was trying to pursue that same thing. And so when we were both finally interested in each other, we were both at that point where we were like, we just want to pursue the Lord. And so basically, God used the young adult ministry to bring our paths together, which we had never thought was going to happen, and was really crazy that we reconnected.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and she'll always be like, I liked you way before you liked me, and like, but she never said anything. She never was like, oh, Chad, I like you. It was more just like.
I was in the studying phase. I wanted to I was really prayerful in that time, to be honest, because I really didn't want to walk into a relationship and then unless I was like, I could see us like getting married, you know? And that's what the purpose of Christian dating should be.
Yeah.
And so I was very hesitant but prayerful at the same time, trying to discern who Chet was, and it was really cool to see him more of as like a friend in that season rather than it having to be we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
we kind of just were still going to the young adult thing, and we were just kind of friends.
We got put in the same small group.
Yeah, then we got put in the same small group. I was just about to touch on that, and that was really where like Eva got to see my heart because it was like a Bible study, so we just got to like talk about the Bible. Great, you know.
Yeah.
So that was where Eva got to see my heart. I got to see her heart. And, I mean, you could really say that that's where we fell in love.
Oh, for sure.
So, from there, we were both kind of, like, head over heels, but can't really say anything. So, I would, like, subtly, you know, like, when we were stacking chairs at the end of the night, I always grab Eva's chair.
That's when I knew something was up. I was like, I think he likes me back now.
I would, like, grab her books, her Bible, and notebook and stuff, so she wouldn't have to carry them. And stuff. But then we were both doing school online, so school was about to start. It was like August, and I was, you know, this is where I kind of got my game going, and I was like, Eva, you know, like we're both doing school online, so we'll be on the computers. But I mean, if you ever like want to go to a coffee shop or you know do some schoolwork together, we could be you know study buds or whatever.
Yes, and just know at this point I was like, oh my gosh, like I really want to do that. So then I followed up with him, and Jack's gonna tell us how I did that.
Yeah, so I like to call this when Eva sends me, you know, like a book. So I of course
I did that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, every now and then. Of course, it's on Snapchat too, which just makes it even better.
Yeah.
It's just like,
we didn't have each other's phone numbers yet. We weren't dating.
Yeah. So swipe, see that thing, and I'm like, all right. Okay, is there a bottom? Is there a bottom to it?
It was not that.
And after scrolling for about, 3 hours, I reached the bottom, and then I had to scroll back up to start reading it. And, you know, what's funny about these texts is I can always sum them up in a little less than, 3 sentences. So the premise of the text was, hey, are you busy this day? We should do this.
But no pressure.
Not to be weird. This doesn't mean like we're a thing. Like just
I'm just inviting you.
over explain everything.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And you know, of course, I responded in the only appropriate way.
With like one sentence.
All right, sounds good.
No, it was better than that. Guys, I was like, my heart was beating out of my chest, but I was like, I'm not playing games with this dude. Like, I'm not just gonna like wait around. And like, I'm not saying the girl is supposed to make the first move or that that was wrong of me to do, but I was just like, I'm following up on something that he offered, and I'm really nervous. I have no idea what he's gonna say. I literally, my mom will say that I did this. I ran around our kitchen and I was like screaming. I was like, oh my gosh, I just sent him the text. It was like crazy. And then he took a while to respond. And then basically it was very kind and exactly what I needed to hear. But it was like, yes, like I feel the same way kind of thing. And then it was like, I would love to do that with you. It was something like that. Very like sweet, straight to the point, as sometimes dudes do it. And I was like, great. But then, like, he ended up not coming the first time that I invited him. And so then the next time he came. And so this is where the story gets really sweet, in my opinion, because we like started making like just this little thing out of it, little hangouts where we would go to our coffee shop spot and we would just get to know each other and like kind of do homework, but not really.
Not really,
You guys,
just
again,
talk.
you know how it goes. Yeah, we would just talk and catch up and then like take silly pictures of each other, and it was just really fun. But we also got to have really cool conversations together and get to know each other in a really good way.
Yeah.
So after that, basically I was really interested in Chet, and I think we went on a few things that, like hangouts that Chet would call a date. But then there was like a Sunday where I think we played tennis.
Yeah.
I think I remember it perfectly. A Sunday where we played tennis and got ice cream. But he had not asked me out on a date at this point. It was just something that we did. I played tennis in high school, so it was like super great, and then I beat him. So then that Wednesday night, I think it was after ministry or whatever, after a greenhouse night, he called me, which like he never did. And so I think at this point we had each other's numbers, so we must have exchanged them at the coffee shop or whatever. And he called me, and I was so thankful for that because he was like, hey Eva, like I'm just curious, was Sunday like a date? And I was like, no, it was not a date. I need you to ask me. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. But it was really like an actual serious, I would say like moment in our, like the first serious moment in our dating relationship where I was like, I'm gonna remember this forever, and we'll like get to tell our kids about it, that he actually called me and we had such a long discussion about like if we wanted to move forward in this. Like we both established that we like had interest in one another, that we liked each other, and we wanted to continue pursuing one another and pursuing Christ. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then Chet, do you want to tell them how you took me on a date? And we went to Milwaukee.
Yeah. Wait, which came first?
The date. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Good Company.
So we went to this restaurant, which this restaurant can be described as like a mix between like probably like what, like an Applebee's and then like your grandma's kitchen with like all like these paintings everywhere.
This is when he finally asked me out on a real date.
Yeah, so we went there. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And that was our first official date.
Yeah, and we looked at the stars.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then that next weekend was really cool. I invited him to come down to visit my friend at college. And so he came with me, and I think we spent like one night at her house or whatever.
Yeah.
He slept in the living room, I slept in her bedroom.
Air mattress, not comfy at all.
And then we still do this to this day. This was so hilarious. Basically, we like played games and like did homework with my friend, whatever. This was a very defining moment in our relationship. And then it was time for bed. And it was awkward because, again, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend yet. But he like came down with me because he also had a friend at this school. So it was just a whole thing. And I was like, okay, how am I going to say goodnight to this dude? Like, I don't want to hug him. Like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. So I literally walk up to him while we're both in our PJs. He's about to go to the living room. And I go, good night. And we do this.
And then I got the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life. It was great.
We literally do that until this day. Like when we make like, are you Like, are you promising? Like, do you trust me? And it's like, this is the seal of the deal. Not a handshake, not anything. It's just that. So that was really cute. And Chet still makes fun of me for it. But then that next day, tell them what happened, like our drive and maybe what you asked me.
Yeah, so then we were driving home from the college, and it was kind of a longer drive home. So we like stopped, we got food, talked, very fun.
But we also had sweet conversations.
Yeah,
That
lots
was
of good talking.
Chet cried. It was the first time I saw him cry.
Maybe, but I don't. That didn't actually. I don't cry. What is crying?
He's a very emotional person, actually. He is. He is joking right now, but he is.
I am. Yeah, but then we were getting close. So I mean, it was kind of like a buzzer beater, but we were probably like 20 minutes from home, and I was like, Eva, you are the most. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it was really sweet because we were just having a serious conversation, I remember, about like, when's the right time?
Yeah.
Like, do we want to date? And I would say I never had a real relationship where I was like dating someone and it was very serious. And I really didn't hang out with a lot of like dudes. I wanted to wait for the right person. And so this was gonna mean a lot if it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So then I asked you to be my girlfriend. She said yes.
yeah,
And
I
then
did say yes.
yeah.
Now the rest is history. Done. End of video. Let's just be done.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, no, just kidding. So then it just gets even better because then we started dating. And it was so fun.
Yeah.
I love dating Chet. But then we also, like, there were definitely moments where, you know, we said I love you, but then there were moments where, like, I remember Chet loves to joke. And so he made this one joke that I didn't like. And so it was, I think, like our first time talking about, like, conflict because it made me feel stupid, like he thought I was stupid. And I would say I'm not dumb. And so then we had to like talk about it. And then from there were definitely conflicts, but that's good. That means you're growing deeper with one another. Like you're actually understanding who they are, how they need to be loved and served and feel appreciated, their love languages, like all these different things. So it was super exciting. So we're gonna fast forward maybe to February and I can tell them about our next college adventure because that was right before we put the ring on it. So anyways, it was super fun. We've been dating for like 5 months in February, I think.
Yeah.
So not super long. We started dating in September. And so anyways, we visited another one of my friends in college and Chet came along and we spent the night. And on that ride home, we had been talking about marriage for a really long time. And when we first started dating, we were like, we want to see each other in every season. Again, you guys know how the convo goes. We just want to see each other in every season. So at least a year together before we get engaged, you know? Because we got to see each other in like every different season of life. Well, we had been talking about marriage for a long time and we were like, this could happen. Like really soon. And like, why would we wait? And so we were praying about it a ton. And God was just aligning so many different things in our lives. It was like crazy. And so then I remember we came home from the college trip and we went to my house and we just started looking at rings online together. And it was like so fun. And I don't think we really, at that point, were really like, oh, Chet's gonna buy it. But he really did, like that next week, I think, or in the next couple of days.
Well, it was crazy because literally, like on the way to the college trip that we went on to visit people.
Oh, I remember that.
We stopped and like toured a wedding venue, and
just
it was
for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. But it ended up literally being the venue we got married at.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Good job.
Yeah. So basically, from that point on, we were really looking into the ring. Well, particularly, I was looking into the ring and what to get, and asking Eva questions, and taking notes, and trying to figure out what she would like, and being really prayerful about timing and like when we actually want to get married, when we want to get engaged, how long that season will be, and whatnot. And I ended up purchasing the ring, and you know it came. But we had a date that I picked out that I was like, this is when I'm going to propose. And the ring ended up coming like literally one day before that. One day before like when I was going to propose. So it was like, holy smokes, like kind of really close. So then Eva's mom and her sister and I, we were at this old like historic building, and we set up a really cute like boho we set up there.
That Eva would like.
Yes, that Eva would like. And we set it all up, and then they left, and it was just a photographer, and then Eva came in, and then, you know, popped the question.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. That day was so special to us. I feel like we could do a whole like little video on it.
On the proposal.
Yeah, just on the proposal, because that was still probably one of my favorite days ever of my life. So that was really special. And then we went and celebrated with family after.
Yeah.
Got good food. So, and then literally like a week after, we went to Virginia to see some of my college friends, heyo. And then Chet has an older brother that lives in Virginia, so we visited them too. And we got beautiful pictures done that I didn't even realize like were engagement photos. Like I wasn't planning on that. Before we got engaged, we knew we were going to Virginia. I was going there with his family, and we were going to get pictures done. So then it was perfect, because then it kind of turned into some engagement photos.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And then throughout then, we knew that we wanted to have a shorter engagement. So we had already booked the wedding venue that we had toured on that trip.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we basically just were preparing for the day, being prayerful.
Yeah, and that was really crazy how that all happened too, because we didn't know if a short engagement would mean like 6 months, or if it would mean like 2 months, like it was for us, which I don't think we were thinking. But basically with how work was going and just the season of our jobs, there was like a perfect moment in time for us to get married and be able to go on a short honeymoon. And then the other date that we were looking at, instead of it being May, which is 2 months from March, was in August, which is obviously a longer time. But then God just like, again, kind of said no to that date, because my aunt ended up getting married literally the day we wanted to get married. And so it was kind of like, oh my goodness, like where do we get married? And then there was opportunity for us to go on like mission trips in the summer, so it would have just been weird to try to like fit a honeymoon in there. And so May ended up being the date. I mean, we were praying over it because we were like, can we do that? Can we just go really quickly from engagement to being married? And honestly, guys, it was beautiful. I loved it. Like, I do not regret only having like 2 months before getting married. Like, it was super sweet. And then it was just our family that we had at the venue. And then we went on a short honeymoon that was so special, to a cute little Airbnb. So yeah, and now we're here. So basically, to recap, we were dating for like 6 months, and then got engaged, and 2 months later we got married. So we were dating technically for like 8 months, and then now we've been married for almost 7. So yeah, that's how we met. That's our love story that God is continuing to write. So yeah, we're excited to see where he continues to take us. But that's kind of just the sweet moments of Chet and Eva and how God worked through our story. There's a lot of details that we didn't share, but we know that there can definitely be future videos to come. So yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. It was really sweet to talk through this story. And if you guys have questions, if you want to hear more,
or another video idea on anything that we talked about, let us know.
Drop them in the comments. Drop a like.
Drop a subscribe. You know. Yeah, we love you guys.
Thank you for watching.
See you later.